Hello children, I hope you are feeling happy and strong. I welcome you all to this special English hour. Here we will learn lots of new things in a fun and interesting way. Are you all ready? Let's get started. Let's start our day with a fun tongue twister. Do you all remember the tongue twister that we did in our previous session? I will refresh your memory. The tongue twister was Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now do you all remember? I'm sure you all do. Now let's make it a little difficult. I will add one more line to this tongue twister. The tongue twister is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. Was it confusing? I will say it one more time. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. I hope you remember this. Now, let's try to say it a little faster. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. I was able to say it faster. Can you also try? Come on. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A pickled peppers. Oops. I was not able to do it. Were you? Please try saying this 3 times with your friends. Children, do you know when glass was discovered? Glass was discovered 4,000 years ago in Israel. Do you know how? It was discovered by some sailors. These sailors had landed on a beach and they decided to cook something. And to cook, they used fire. Can you guess what happened next? When they started cooking, the sand that was below started melting. And after a while, this melted sand hardened and it became what we know today as glass. Wasn't it interesting? Now, do you know what glass is made up of? Glass is made up of soda ash and limestone. Do you know which country is famous for its glass? It is Italy. It is especially famous for the colorful glass, which is also known as tainted glass. This is a very advanced skill of glass making. Now, let's learn some new words. You will see these words in the lesson when we read it. So, I request you to please listen to me carefully and make a note of these words in your notebooks. Brittle, brittle, brittle. The chalk is very brittle. Furnace, Furnace. Furnace. She lit up a furnace to keep herself warm. Impermeable. 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 She did not get wet in the rain because her umbrella was impermeable. Recycle. 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 Recycle cardboard for your art activities. Sculpture. 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 The museum has a beautiful sculpture. I hope you remember these words when we read the lesson. Now, let's read a lesson from your textbook. Please open page number 44 of your textbook. I will be reading this lesson and I request you to point at each word as I am reading it. If you don't have a textbook, listen to me carefully. How glass is made. Glass is one of the most beautiful substances that we see around us. Just take a look around yourself and see how many things you can find that are made of glass. Light bulbs, bottles, jars, glasses, reading glasses, marbles, window panes, to name just a few. Where does this glass come from? Children, I'm sure you all have seen glass. Can you think of the glass objects that are around you? We can name lots of things. We have windows, we have glasses, we have eyeglasses. It seems like we are surrounded by glass. Our today's lesson is also about glass. So let's learn a few more things about the same. How glass is made. The glass that is used to make so many everyday things is a man-made material. Can you guess what it is made from? It may seem unbelievable, but this clear, transparent and smooth-looking material is actually made from sand. Glass is made by heating a mixture of clean white sand and chemicals like soda and lime. The mixture is heated in a furnace till it turns into hot liquid glass. When it cools down, it becomes stiff and hard. Children, can you all tell me what is the most important feature of glass? Yes, the most important and striking feature of glass is that it is transparent, which means you can see through glass, right? Now, based on this information, can you all tell me what is glass made of? If you hear this, you will be shocked. Glass is actually made of sand. Now, y'all might think that sand is not transparent. Then how does glass become transparent? So, what we do is, first we heat the sand and we also add soda and limestone in it. And that is how the heated sand becomes stiff and hard and then turns into glass. How glass is shaped. Once glass has become cold, stiff and hard, it is not possible to shape it. Glass is brittle. That means it breaks easily. It has to be shaped into different articles when it is still hot and soft. Very hot glass is more like a liquid. You can pour it, mold it, roll it, press it, or even blow it to make a variety of shapes. Hot liquid glass is poured into molds and hardened to make articles of various shapes and sizes. It can also be rolled out to make flat sheets of glass. In another process, molten glass is floated on a bed of molten metal to make very flat glass sheets of even thickness. Gobs of hot liquid glass can be blown into bottles, bulbs, glasses, and other objects. Liquid glass can also be drawn out into very thin fibers or glass wool. We all saw that glass is made out of heated sand. But have you ever thought, how do we see glass in different shapes and sizes? It's pretty simple. First, we heat the sand. Then, the heated sand melts. And with that not so cold molten sand, we put this sand into different molds. And out of these molds, we can create glass in different shapes and sizes. That is why we see glass and glass materials in different sizes and shapes. Some properties of glass. Glass has many useful properties. It is transparent. You can see through it. It is strong and hard. You can put a lot of load on it. It is impermeable. It does not allow water or other liquids to pass through it, and it doesn't get soggy or stained itself. Glass has no effect on food, water, or other substances stored in glass containers. In other words, it doesn't impart a smell or taste to them. Ordinary glass has a smooth surface and it can be washed easily. And last but not the least important is the fact that it looks beautiful. No wonder then that it is used to make so many things. We spoke about the history of glass. We also spoke about how glass can be molded in different shapes and sizes. Now, let's talk about some important features of glass. Can you think about the most important feature of glass? It is that glass is impermeable, which means that no amount of liquid can pass through it. Isn't it interesting and useful? Another important feature of glass is that it is hard. The other important feature of glass is that you can store lots of food and water in it and none of it will get spoiled. The most and a very important feature of glass is that it looks beautiful. It is a bit underrated, but glass articles are very pleasing to eyes. Colored glass. Ordinary glass is colorless, but it is possible to produce colored and transparent glass by using different combinations of chemicals in the glass making process. Glass can be given many beautiful colors: blue, violet, turquoise, ruby red, pink, amber, orange, deep yellow, purple, amethyst, dark green, and even black and white. We have seen many glass articles which are transparent, but transparent glass can also be turned into colorful glass using different chemicals. We find colorful glass objects in colors like yellow, red, blue, green, black, white, amethyst, turquoise, and many more. Stained glass. Colored glass is used to make beautiful pictures, especially in window panes. Such windows are known as stained glass windows. They are seen mostly in churches. Colored glass can also be used to make beautiful sculptures or decorative articles. It is also possible to paint on glass using special chemicals and processes. We can color glasses, and these glasses are called stained glasses. Have you ever seen a stained glass window? You must have. We see stained glass window panes in places like churches. Glass can be recycled. Another unique feature of glass is that it is 100% recyclable. Old glass can be used to make new glass any number of times. Recycling glass in this manner is much cheaper than making new glass from raw materials. It requires much less heat and a lot of energy is saved. If you recycle even a single glass bottle, you save enough energy to power a color TV for about 20 minutes. So, the next time you throw away a glass bottle, think, glass is valuable. Another important quality of glass is that it is recyclable. We can use glass again and again by recycling it, and this helps in protecting our environment and saving energy, which is why glass is a very important object, especially in times like these. I hope you learned something important from today's lesson. Now, let's do an activity. This activity is about verbs. Do you remember what verbs are? Verbs are action words like dancing, reading, writing, singing, or any action that we do. For this activity, you will see a few words on your screen. Below these words, you will see a box which has some verbs or action words. What you have to do is pick each action word and put it next to the words above. For example, the first word is monkey. Now looking at this word, which verb do you think is appropriate? Yes, it is jumping because a monkey jumps. Similarly, we have to do this for other words. Children, I hope you were able to add correct action words in front of each word. Let's find out. As we saw, the action word that we put against monkey was jump. The action word that we have put against turtle is swim because turtles swim under water. Our next word is lion. And what is the action word against lion? It is roar because a lion roars. Roar is the sound that lion makes. Our next word is people. And the action associated with people is walk. Our next word is cats. The action word against cats is purr. Purr is the sound of cats. The next word was girl and boy. And the action word used here is play. Now, let's do another activity which is about verbs. On your screen, you will see a few words which have blank spaces. These words are verbs. Looking at the words, you have to try and identify what these action words could be. अब हम एक एक्टिविटी करेंगे. ये एक्टिविटी भी वर्ब्स के बारे में है. यहाँ पे आपको आपके स्क्रीन पे कुछ शब्द दिखाई देंगे, पर ये शब्द में कुछ ब्लैंक स्पेसेस है. आपको इन शब्दों को देखना है और गेस करना है कि ये कौन से एक्शन वर्ड्स हो सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द फर्स्ट वर्ड इज CO dash dash. Now, when you look at this word, what do you think could the action be? Yes, it is cook. Cook is an action word. Can we try doing this with other words? Come on. Were you able to fill the blanks? Let's see what these verbs were. The first is cook. The second is take. Third is can. Fourth is red. Fifth is go. Sixth is make. Seventh is join. Eighth is give. Ninth is bring. and 10th is right. I hope you learned something in today's session. For homework, I would request you to tell your family members about how glass is made. Now, I will end this session here. I will see you in our next session. Until then, take care and stay safe. Bye.